Hello everyone, this is Dr. J and welcome back to the channel. I've got two cases for you today, one of a narrow ear canal cerumen impaction and the other one is a hairy impaction. And this is the first case. This gentleman came to me with hearing difficulties and cerumen impaction. Based on our initial view in the ear, you can see that the ear canal is very narrow. The front and back wall of the ear canals actually are more narrow than the speculum I used to look into the ear with. I'm going to pause here for a moment with my voice and let you hear the interactions that happen here.
Yeah, it can make you cough if we tickle the ear the right way.
Oh, you did?
Jeez, I barely touched you.
Sorry.
No, sometimes it's an aggressive cough reflex. Alright, well, I'm going to go in here with some drops. Kind of soften things up a little bit.
Now, that we've discussed before here on the channel, and you've seen it before, I'm sure you're aware, that's the cough reflex, a nerve connection between the ear and the airway. And when the ear canal is irritated or stimulated, I guess would be an easy way to say it, then it can make it feel like there's a feather tickling the back of the throat. That's called the Arnold's nerve or the vagus cough reflex. It's the auricular branch of the vagus nerve. And we have 12 cranial nerves, which are big nerves that exit the cranium and go out into the head and neck region, and one actually goes all the way down into the chest cavity and abdomen. That's the vagus nerve or cranial nerve 10. And that vagus nerve does so many different things for us. But one of the strange connections is the sensitivity between the ear and making it feel like there's something going on in the throat. So that's Arnold's nerve cough reflex that this gentleman experienced. We used a little collace to provide a little bit of lubrication between the cerumen plug and his ear canal, and that actually helped a lot. We were able to get the plug out without any further coughing, and we're able to continue with the debridement. Now the big plug is out. We're just doing a little bit of cleanup on the outer part of the ear canal and just being very gentle here. I've moved to the smaller suction, which allows me to take care of this more detailed work in the ear canal. The larger suction just kind of limits the view enough where, and it can be really noisy as well. The smaller suction is noisy, but not as noisy as the big one. This is a number 5 suction. The bigger one we call it number 7, and the smallest one I use in the ear, usually when I'm way down into the anterior sulcus, is a number 3 suction. And here we are just picking up some old loose skin off of the ear canal. There's a little bit of wax involved in it. We're just gently teasing it away, getting it back to some what we would consider vital or healthy skin. And once this fragment comes off, we're just about done here. And as we look back in, there's an ear hair resting on the eardrum. Now I know the camera's just out of view, but we were able to get that with the alligator forceps. Now moving on to the left ear, this patient had very similar findings on the left side. As we slip into the ear canal, you're going to see that it's just as narrow as the other side was. And because of his cough reaction on the right ear, I'm going to go ahead and, before I try and manipulate this plug, start with some collace to lubricate the wax plug. Here we are suctioning out the excess of the collace. Now there's nothing special about collace. It's just a lubricant, same as virgin olive oil or mineral oil, Johnson & Johnson baby oil, or any other oil you might want to use in there. I had a friend who developed some drops for the ear that had a lot of olive oil, coconut oil in it, and it all works great for the ear canal. Here we are, just got it mobile and slipped it out of the ear, and we're able to avoid any cough reflex on this side. He did not react to the site at all. And as we pulled the plug out, you can see just how thin and wafer-like this plug is. And that's just a testament to just how narrow that ear canal is. It doesn't take much to block the ear canal and create a backup. Now here we go, case number 2. This is a little bit different than the normal. And you'll see here on the outside of the ear, he's got incredibly hairy what we call tragus and antitragus, and the ear canal hairs within the actual canal itself. They're getting loose, or if they're trimmed, they're getting down into the ear canal and then being pushed deep into the ear canal. And you can see this hair plug actually has some cerumen mixed with it. All of these structures that we're looking at here, the hair and the cerumen, are made and produced on the outside part of the ear. But what you see here, they're located deep within the ear, and some of them are actually resting on the eardrum. So that means that logically you can assume that these were pushed into the ear canal, either by hearing aids or by Q-tips or cotton tip buds, whatever you want to call them. They don't tend to just migrate to the inner part of the ear canal on their own. They're usually forced there with some external forces. And when you see an ear canal like this, it can be very tedious to remove them all. Sometimes you can get a big bundle of ear hairs in a few bites, and it'll make a lot of difference. But then sometimes the ear hair has been in there long enough that it starts to stick to and mold with the old skin that's resting in the ear, like you see here. So it's very, very flat, and the width of a hair is very, very small, sub-millimeter. And we're trying to lift it up to where we can actually get a hold of it. You can't just reach in there and grab it. It's way too thin. And so here I am using a right angle to just barely gently lift it up to hopefully to be able to get a hold of it. And it becomes a very slow and tedious process to try and get this all out of there. Here you have some ear hairs that are resting directly on the eardrum itself, and this goes without saying. You got to be extremely careful when you're down in the ear this deep. And here comes the last piece off of this side, which is his right ear, and there it comes out. Now moving on to the left side, exact same problem. A lot of ear hair around the tragus and antitragus, and then also into the entrance of the ear canal. Now here's a nice satisfying pull here. We grab a hold of a lot of ear hairs at the same time, and a lot of it comes out. That's very satisfying in these scenarios because, again, being a slow and tedious process, it helps move things along very quickly. Sometimes you're only getting one hair at a time, and you just got to keep going in, come back out, you go in, you come back out, and eventually you'll be able to clear the ear canal of a vast majority of the ear hairs. Sometimes they're just so flat and embedded into the skin in the region that you just leave it alone, and over time with proper drops it'll migrate out with the skin as in a normal ear should do. Trying real hard to get these last few pieces into the same bite here that are kind of free floating out in the canal, right in front of what we call the anterior sulcus, and just moving millimeters at a time, grab those last pieces, and we're done. Hey, thanks for sticking it out to the end. I appreciate you watching. Thank you for all your support, and we'll see you on the next video.